Hello everyone. So through this video we will continue with the 5th chapter of your book Honeydew, and that is the Summit Within. The last chapter we had done, the Treasure Within, it was from your book It So Happened. And now we are going to continue with the Summit Within. It's an autobiography of Major H.P.S. Ahluwalia. Who was he? He was the member of the first successful Indian expedition to Mount Everest in 1965. So how did he feel when he reached there, and how he reached there actually, and what difficulties he had faced? So he has explained everything here in this chapter, interesting one, and he had experienced his real experience of his life. So let's start with this chapter. So in the beginning of the chapter only, he is just sharing his feelings, that how did he feel when he was there at the top of the Mount Everest. Mount Everest, climbing of Mount Everest, and won that peak. It's you can say an achievement in itself. So in the very first paragraph, he is sharing the same experience. Of all the emotions which surged through me. What is the meaning of surged here? Which arose suddenly within me, which came suddenly within me. So those all emotions he was saying that I can still feel as I stood on the summit of Everest. Summit here means the topmost peak. Summit means where we all have some summit in our life. Like we all want to achieve something. We all have some particular goals of our lives. So those are the summit of our life. And for him, the summit of Everest was everything. So that's why he was the member of that crew. So he is saying that of all the emotion which suddenly came through me, suddenly arose in me as I stood on the summit of Everest, looking over miles of panorama below us. And he is sharing the same experience. Panorama here means the wide view which he was looking there from the top of the Everest. Panorama is the wide view, beautiful sight. He can see that from the top of the Everest. And he is saying that I can still remember that panorama when I was standing at the top of the Everest, and whatever I was looking down, what achievements I had got that time, those emotions are still live in me. The dominant one, I think, was humility. Here suddenly he is changing his direction of writing. Many of the things you will know here. Somehow this chapter is the difficult one. So why he is getting the feeling of humility? Humility, you know, when we feel low in front of someone, okay, when we can't actually achieve something which others are expecting from us, and that is called a feeling of humility, when we feel low, humiliated in front of someone. The physical in me seemed to say, thank God it's all over. Physical means he is saying that I was so much tired physically, although there are many good and jubilant emotions in himself, but he is saying that physically I was saying thank God that I have reached wherever I wanted to reach. Now it's over. Now I did not have that much strength that I could go further. However, instead of being jubilant, there was a tinge of sadness. So he was saying when I was standing there at the top, instead of being jubilant, instead of being very happy, I was sad somewhere. Why was he sad? Was it because I had already done the ultimate in climbing, and there would be nothing higher to climb, and all roads hereafter would lead down? And what was the reason behind his sadness? That he is saying that I had achieved the ultimate. Whatever goal he wanted to achieve, he had already achieved that. He was standing at the top, and he was saying from that I had to go down, because there was no higher peak than that. And whatever he was planning for himself, that he will achieve the Mount Everest once, so he had done that. He is saying that my goal is over. I was I had the feeling of sadness. I did not have any plan to go further. I had achieved and now I'll have to go down only. I have to move down to my own world from here. By climbing the summit of Everest, you are overwhelmed by a deep sense of joy and thankfulness. He was saying, when once you achieve this Mount Everest, that time you will be thankful also to God that you have reached there successfully, and somewhere a deep sense of joy will also there inside you, that this was your goal and you have already achieved it. It is a joy which lasts a lifetime, and this was not a joy like other joys that it will be for a moment, but if once you have achieved that, so it will be for lifetime. You will keep the memory of those moments and it will give you joy for every moment in your life. The experience changes you completely. The man who has been to the mountains is never the same again. And he is saying that this experience, that achievement of Mount Everest, it changes you completely. He can share this because he was the top peak achiever. So he is sharing his experience here, and he is saying that this will change you completely, and the man who had achieved the Mount Everest somewhere, he will somewhere be changed person in his life, in his coming life. Further he is saying, as I look back at life after climbing Everest, I cannot help remarking about the other summit. The summit of mind, no less formidable and no easier to climb. Now, how he has changed. Earlier he had a goal that he has to go to the Mount Everest. So he had set that goal, he had done the hard work for that, and at last he achieved it. But later he is saying that I realized later on, when I did not have any goal after that, I realized that there are many summits in our life, and those summits are within us, in our mind, in our heart. And if we will be able to win those all summits, so definitely it will be an achievement in itself. So he is saying the same, so that there are many summits in human's mind, in everyone's mind, your minds, my minds, and my heart, your heart, that if we will be able to climb those summits, so definitely we will achieve something big in our life. And he is also adding that these summits are also not easy to achieve, not easy to climb. So these emotions are going on throughout the chapter. We'll continue with this here. Further he is explaining his experiences there, that when he was climbing the Mount Everest, then how did he feel. He is saying, even when getting down from the summit, when he was coming down from the peak, once the physical exhaustion had gone, I began asking myself the question why I had climbed Everest. So he was saying that moment only, when my joy was over, when I was returning down, when I was coming back home, that time only I was thinking that why I had made that plan. What was the use of that I climbed Mount Everest? Why did the act of reaching the summit have such a hold on my imagination? And he was just calculating all those previous parts of that how I had planned about it, and why that climbing of Mount Everest was that much important, why I had made it a goal in my life. It was already a thing of the past, but he's saying that now it was over. I'm returning home, now it's over. I had achieved whatever I wanted, and now it was a thing of past only. Something done yesterday, with every passing day it would become more remote, and then what would remain? Would my memories fade slowly away? So he's missing actually that time when he was making plans to go to the mountain, and he is saying that now this is the thing of past now, yesterday only, and he is saying that every passing day, with every passing day, my memories will be faded, and somehow people will forget about it. All these thoughts led me to question myself as to why people climb mountains. And these kinds of thoughts were continuously going on in HPS Ahluwalia's mind, that why people actually plan to climb the mountains, why, what goes on into their mind that they used to make such plans, although it's very hard, physically it's very hard, you have to be mentally strong if you'll have to achieve something like that. It is not easy to answer the question, but he is not finding the satisfactory answer, so he's continuously thinking about it. The simplest answer would be, as others have said, because it is there. Its present great difficulties, man takes delight in overcoming obstacles. So Eddie had listened from others that why people used to plan to go there at the top of the Mount Everest. So because Mount Everest is there, only that thing is there, and it's really hard to achieve the peak of Mount Everest, and everyone are there, those who used to make such plan, they somewhere enjoy the obstacle in their life, they somewhere enjoy to cross the obstacles. So that's why simple answers actually he is reminding as he has talked to others. Further, he is talking about the obstacles only. The obstacles in climbing a mountains are physical. So definitely when you have to reach on such a height, you have to be physically very strong, and definitely many kinds of physical obstacles you should be ready to face. A climb to a summit means endurance, persistence and willpower. These questions you will find in your text also, that to climb a summit, what does that mean? So definitely you need endurance, persistent you should be about your goal, and your willpower should be very much strong about your achievement. The demonstration of these physical qualities is no doubt exhilarating, as it was for me also. So he is saying that if you have such kinds of feelings of endurance and have a strong willpower, so your thinking of achievement and that achieving the goal only, it will exhilarate you, it will make you excited. So the same thing was happening with the crew also of HPS Ahluwalia, and with him also the same things were going on. Further he is saying, I have a more personal answer to the question. But now that was the thing that he had discussed with the other, but now he is just putting forward his own view about that achievement. He is saying, from my childhood I have been attracted by mountains. I had been miserable, lost when away from mountains in the plains, and mountains are nature at its best. So he is saying that these are my childhood memories only, that from my childhood only I was much attracted towards the mountain, and whenever I was somewhere away from the mountains, I feel somewhere lost, as we used to feel lost in some new places. So those plains and away places from the mountains, those were the very new places for the writer. So he is saying that I was attracted towards the mountains from my very childhood. Further he is saying, their beauty and majesty pose a great challenge, and like many, I believe that mountains are a means of communion with God. Means here means sources. So he is saying that whatever peace we find there in mountains, those were precious for me, and the beautiful nature attracts me there, and yes, there I feel like I am communicating with God. Those kinds of meditation I was able to feel there. So that was his personal reason, that why he wanted to achieve the peak of the biggest mountain in the world. So here student, almost first part we had done. I am ending this video here only, and in the next video we'll continue with the same chapter. Somehow very things are there which you have to understand in this chapter. Rest will continue in our next video. So here I am ending this. Thank you.